What's up, everybody? It's your boy AD, your host, and today I am joined here with my special guest,
Brandon. How you guys doing?
All right, and we got to be real. So what I want to get into today is some trending tea. So during this segment, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to talk about some topics that are going on around on the internet right now in the blogs, making front page news, and we just want to give our unsolicited advice and opinions on these topics. Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
All right. So topic number one, we're going to discuss Beyonce's track list for her new album Renaissance has just been revealed. At the time of us recording this, her new album is going to be out in about a week. Okay, it's Thursday. Her new album is going to be out next Friday.
And I'll be unavailable.
Look, I think everybody's going to be unavailable for a little while. So I want to get into a little bit of the songs on this track list. So track 1, I'm That Girl.
And she is. And I mean, I feel like for me, she's been that girl, and I think it's great that it's about time that she let y'all know. Like, I mean, technically she let y'all know before, but
yeah, because I mean, she has a whole song called Bow Down Bitches,
and quite honestly, not enough of y'all listened. But that's just me. I'm looking at you, Keisha Cole.
You can't say that. Oh my God. Actually, I do want a new album from Keisha Cole. She usually don't miss when it comes to albums.
Awkward silence.
No comment. Okay.
She misses quite often.
Oh, you know what? Next song on the track list is Cozy.
Okay, so let me just start, I guess, by saying with this being like a dance album, and like a lot of the influences and like the samples that I'm seeing, it looks like it may be more like house focused. So I'm not really sure how everything is going to musically or sonically come together.
I don't know why you're whispering, but I definitely understand where you're coming from, because I will be honest, I'm not gonna be fake and say that I'm not nervous. Because Break My Soul was surprising. It was shocking. Kind of like how Summer Walker dropped X for a Reason as the lead single for her Still Over It album. A lot of people were taken off guard because that's not the music that they're used to hearing from her. Just like Beyonce and Break My Soul, a lot of people, aren't used to hearing that type of Beyonce. So it being unveiled that the album is going to be more so centered around dance, it kind of makes me a little nervous. I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I did like Break My Soul, don't get me wrong. Even though a lot of people weren't really feeling it or whatever the case may be, that was my jam. I played it out, learned the words, all of that. But
As you should.
I just don't know how I would feel about an album like a 15 songs with like 15 Break My Souls.
And the thing is, I don't think it's going to be 15 Break My Souls, but I think that she's like trying to take a different direction with music, because I feel like right now everybody, I don't want to call it like sad music, but everybody's kind of like in a space where they're just like not very happy. I don't know how else to put it.
I definitely get what you're saying. The subject matter of a lot of music is more so, especially in R&B, and especially within the culture,
Exactly.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our music is geared around like, cheating.
This person got over on me. I'm gonna get back at them, etc.
Right, exactly. And I will say Break My Soul, lyrically and sonically, it was refreshing.
Breath of fresh air.
Especially with, the climate of the globe right now. I feel like it was necessary, it was needed, and I can I can commend Beyonce for that. And I feel like if this album that this is act 1, right? Allegedly, maybe there is another act coming that is going to be more so a different side of Beyonce. I don't know if there even is going to be an act 2. I can only assume.
I would only say yes, because I feel like she's going to like explore this like house music phase, and then she's going to give people, well, y'all, because I'm quite fine with the Beyonce I've been getting, but other people like the B-Day version again. I feel like she'll go back to that in like act 2. I could be wrong, but that's just not predictable.
For me personally, if I could have it my way, we can have this little act 1 be dance, and then like the act 2, I would want it to be like more so classic Beyonce, like give us some R&B, give us what we're used to.
And I think she will. And also, what if she brings out Destiny's Child or DC3 finally? Like, I have to be there because
on the tour.
Yes.
To do what?
I'm angry. What do you mean do? What else would they do?
No, I'm just saying, because what's significant about this tour that she would bring out Destiny's Child when any of her other tours she hasn't brought out this? Well, you know what? The Beyonce Experience, she did bring out Destiny's Child on the DVD for Survivor. They were on stage for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. But I'm just saying, it's not. Beyonce does not normally bring out Destiny's Child on one of her tours.
But what if this is like the last leg for Beyonce? She's getting up there.
Isn't she 40 now?
And still out singing and outperforming a bunch of your faves. But yeah, like, she's really getting up there now. And I know she, deep down in my soul, she really wants to be there and like take care of the kids and stuff. Like,
as she should. And I wouldn't be mad at her for this being like the last stretch. If this is her last album for a while, or if she never really returns back to music in the way that we know her of, which is making albums and promoting them and doing singles and tours. If she never returns to that after this, then I would understand. Like,
I would be okay. I've got a lot of material.
We have a lot of material. We have a lot of. She has an extensive catalog. Yeah.
I'm gonna miss it. I will.
She's the standard, and I feel like the right way to go out is when you're on top. I'm not gonna name any names of any other entertainers or vocalists who have kind of been pushed out, or their vocals might not have held up over the years. I'm just saying, if this was the time for her to go out, you go out when you're on top. You go out swinging when you're, still able to, rather than burning out in front of the world. So, hey.
I kind of want you to name names.
I'm not.
You're going into that profession, not me. So I can say what I say.
Can't say no names.
Yeah.
But, you guys watching and listening, you can kind of fill in the blanks. You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to spell it out to you. So next topic, moving on. What I want to talk about is Kim Burrell. So if you don't know who Kim Burrell is a gospel singer / preacher. She's very known in the gospel community, especially for us Black folk. You've heard Kim Burrell's name, or you've seen a clip of her, or, in some way if you don't know her, you might know of her. So she's had controversies in the past for some controversial things that she has said while at church and on the pulpit and all of that. Now, her latest controversy, if you haven't seen the video, but there's a video circulating of her getting up in front of a congregation, and it seems like she's just going in on people for no reason. She just gets up there and she's already just like going ham, and like she's talking about like maybe before we be friends with somebody. We need to give them an interview. How long have you been broke? You know, do you live in a house or a trailer home? Is your electric bill in your little cousin's name? Maybe you got something left on your PPP loan. Book me, I'm not that expensive. Like, just saying things that personally me, I wouldn't expect a person of God, gospel singer, or preacher to necessarily say to a congregation. And here's the thing that gets me. A lot of what she's saying, now, mind you, there's some people in the video that are hyping her up, but I feel like a lot of what she's saying applies to the very people that are sitting in that audience, in that congregation. So what are your thoughts on that?
So I'm one of the people that didn't really see the full video, but like,
so you thought I was playing just now?
No. So the part that I literally watched up until she was like, how long have you been broke? And I was like, yeah, let me go.
Let me cut this off.
This is not what I thought this was gonna be. And didn't she call people ugly or something like that?
She did. That was you know what? Forgive me for excluding that. She definitely called people ugly. I think she even said, look at your neighbor and say you ugly.
Right, because didn't she say you should, like, she pointed at somebody in the audience or something like that, and she like called them out and called them. I don't know. The point is, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
For me, I found it funny, but I could see how other people were like, nah, man.
Well, here's the thing. I thought it was funny in a certain way, but then when you realize the context, you realize that that's not okay. That's my opinion. Right. I think that when you're in a certain space as a Christian figure, you're a gospel singer, people are, whether it's right or not, people are naturally going to hold you to a higher standard. You know? Sure. That's just is what it is. You spread the word of God. You get up in front of people and you preach to them. People don't come, like, imagine if you were going through a hard time in your life and maybe you were broke. Maybe you did live in a trailer home. Maybe you did have your light bill in your little cousin's name because you had their social. You come to church to be inspired. You come to church to leave with the word on your heart. You come to church to be encouraged, right? That's why people go to church, right?
Right. And so, okay. And I think that's why I found it so funny, because it was so like ridiculous that she was standing on there saying those things. I thought it was hilarious. Not like the message itself. I feel like I should clear that up in case anybody tries to come for me. Like,
if she was a comedian, like selling out arenas like Kevin Hart, or if she was Monique, then I can understand, like, if you're doing a comedy special, like, they roast people all the time. They talk about their audience, da-da-da-da-da. That would be, in that context, it would be funny. I don't think there would be any outrage. But for you to come into an environment where people are trying to get healing and stuff like that, I think it's inappropriate. The latest update is she has a new apology with her visibly on camera, and she's talking to the camera. And giving a real apology. And she says the lawyer, her attorney, wrote the previous apology. And she said, well, I don't feel like that came from the heart, and a lot of y'all were offended by it, so I just want to really apologize from the heart, and da-da-da-da. Look.
Y'all just need to get PR people, like, right out the gate and then just leave it alone. Or just either that or just stand on what you said.
She's a repeat offender, though.
You know, Chris Brown, who I also don't support, he said something way back. I forgot what artist was under fire at the time, but he said, just sing the songs. And I feel like more people should follow that.
And that's what they used to do back in the day. Like, unless you had an interview, like on like GMA or like BET or something like that, we didn't hear from artists back in the day. People got up, they sang their songs, they released their albums, and they went on their business. We didn't know nothing about these celebrities' lives. We didn't know what their views were, nothing like that. And can we go back to that?
as social media.
Shoot.
Social media now demands like a lot of your life.
There's some artists that don't feed into it that much though, which, you know, it's very seldom, but there's some artists who still mind their business and are unproblematic. Like her, very unproblematic. She just sings. She just sings and go about her business.
Yeah, I never hear anything about her.
That sounded shady.
It wasn't. I actually really like her.
Not you throwing shots.
I just never hear anything bad about her.
So, moving on to the next topic, trending tea. Bad Boys Houston auditions. So, if you don't know, Bad Boys Houston is the second season of the Bad Boys Club franchise on Zeus Network. We are located in Houston, so the auditions were held a couple months ago, I believe, in the Galleria area. And people showed up from all over the world in the country. There's people there from Africa. There's people there who drove 16 hours to come to the auditions. Of course, we had the Houston locals coming out to the auditions and everything like that. The day of the auditions, people were going viral on Twitter with these fight videos. People were getting knocked out in the line before they even got in the building. People were fighting inside the building in front of the judges. It was just a shit show, for lack of a better term. Now Zeus has aired the first episode of the auditions. I don't know how many episodes of the auditions they're going to be. I don't know how many parts it's going to be, but they have aired the first episode. And if I could describe it with one word, it would be sloppy.
If I could say something, I would say, what else would you expect from Zeus Network?
Exactly. Somebody had to say it. I mean, I feel like there's VH1, you know, BET. If you can't look, if you're just listening, he moved my hand down further when I said BET. and then like
trying to be accurate,
at the bottom of the barrel, like so deep in the bottom of the barrel that it has to be scraped up, there's Zeus Network. You can't expect anything less than, you know, pure fuckery and bullshit when you when you have anything concerning Zeus Network. Now, if you've seen the episode, you haven't seen it yet, right?
No, I haven't.
If you've seen the episode, it's some pure fuckery. Like, at first, the judges, there's first of all, there's multiple judges.
Yeah.
So the first round of judges you have to get through, because you have to get through these judges, and then you got to go to another room to get through the next judges, and so on and so forth.
Right, because it wasn't like the OG Bad Boy.
Yeah, the first little panel that you had to get past was Burrell, I believe is his name, mm-hmm. Anthony, mm-hmm. and Curtis. Mm-hmm. Halfway through the episode, Jonathan also joined them. The next stage of judges is going to be Natalie Nunn, Jonathan, and Blueface. But this episode centered around, you know, the first round of judges. They started off like, you know, high energy, and they were giving everybody a chance to come up and introduce themselves. I think they had like 1 minute and 20 seconds as a timer. Man, halfway through the episode, they said, all right, number 5, come up. All right, next. Number 6, next. They was literally coming up. People was just like, hi, my name is Next. And Anthony had signs that he was holding up that said, take off your clothes. And people were actually doing it. He had signs that say, you're hot. It had signs that say, girl, bye. And I'm like, if this couldn't be any more ratchet, I didn't know whether to be offended. Because my thing is, are you telling me to go stand in the hot sun? Mind you, some of these people were in fur coats in 95-degree weather.
For a pre-pick cast.
For a pre-pick, because they wasn't picking none of them people. Like, I mean, come on. And are you telling me that I should be in the line with these fools, these buffoons? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not, like, I'm very humble. But I know that I'm not going to subject myself to certain things. Like, come on now. I don't feel like I'm too good for the show. What I'm too good for is to stand up in them auditions and like they were making a fool out of these people. It's very wrong. But the thing is, I can't put it all on Zues because you're stupid for even going to the audition.
No, they exploited him.
You're a dumbass. But Zues was exploiting these people. It's just like they thought they would have an actual chance. Zues knew from get-go none of these people would have a chance. So they look stupid on national TV. You come up to the judges and then you say your name and they say next. And you haven't got, like, that's fucked up. So my thing is, I'm not too good for the show, but I'm too good to be subjected to that bullshit.
And then, like, let's keep in mind, so let's just say, whatever, I get to the auditions, then 7 times out of, or 8 times out of 10, somebody's gonna fight me, or I'm, like, that, because that's the environment we're in. Then I still have to see this person. Like, I still live in this city. They still live in this city. So we're gonna have to fight again. Like, the episode's gonna air if I get my ass whooped. Oh, if I get beat up, then I gotta go fight them again.
Right, because you're gonna see them in the scene. You're gonna see them out. So,
or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And here's the thing, they were hyping up the fight because it was this one boy's turn, right, to audition, and somebody random just cut him in line and started auditioning first, and like before him. And then Burrell said, no, go that way. You're not making it past this round because you let him cut you. You let him take your spot. So you're not making it on the show. And then he was looking like, well, I'm not no punk. And then Burrell was just like, well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You let him take your spot. Like, you better fight for your spot. Basically, Burrell was calling the boy a pussy. Now, I don't know about you, but if somebody called me a pussy
in front of the whole audition,
like, they were hyping people up to fight. And of course the boy that they ended up fighting,
of course.
And you know, at that point, neither of them getting the fuck past that round because they just fought. And I just thought the whole thing was some bullshit. You're gonna have to watch the episode. I will be tuning into this season, even though it's bullshit and fuckery. I will be tuning in. I thought the audition episode was entertaining despite the exploitation of the people who audition, despite the fighting and fuckery, and I feel like they're making a mockery of Houston. I still was entertained to a certain extent. So, I mean, it is what it is.
I hope y'all get what y'all wanted to from the show. And that's about all I can say from that.
Look, I just need something to do on fucking Sundays. That's all. Look, I need something to do. Sundays be boring as fuck because I don't do Sunday Fun Day no more. So I need something to do. I need something to come on TV for me to watch. I just
Well, I hear Baddies is good.
I'm watching Baddies right now.
I catch the fight clips on Instagram
and Twitter. Yeah.
I
mean, some of these episodes be filler episodes on Baddies though, and girls are. I will say that because we've had a Bad Boys show, the girls aren't as entertaining.
I can't comment on that because I haven't watched either one.
Yeah, I don't think the girls are as entertaining. And on that note, we're going to our next segment, which is Ask AD. The segment where you guys, the audience, gets to ask me a question, and me and whoever my co-host is for the week gets to respond to you and answer your question. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at TurntLibra, TurntLibra. No underscores, spaces, or dots. So you can submit your question via my story. You can swipe up on my story, ask me a question, and have the opportunity to be featured on this segment. Now, it will remain anonymous, so you don't have to worry about being blasted. First question that we have is, do you believe in marriage? And if so, should there be a time frame on how long into the relationship should you get married? I'm gonna let you answer first, Brandon.
Me first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jesus. So, okay, speaking for me personally, I don't know per se if there's a time frame for everyone to get married. I feel like I'm not even moving in with you if it hasn't been like a few years. And then after a few years of moving, like within maybe like 2 years of me moving in with you, that'll let me know if I want to marry you. So you I guess you do with that what you want. I'm not marrying nobody like after 2 years of knowing them. That's just me. And I haven't lived with you and you haven't lived with me. That's crazy.
Okay, well, that's understandable.
And a waste of time.
Well, that's understandable. Well, here's the thing with me. I date with intention. I don't want to say that, oh, I date to marry. But in so many words, it's kind of true. I don't want to be one of them people that's in a relationship for 5 years and all we doing is sitting up on the couch eating chips for 5 fucking years. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Depends on the chip.
No, it doesn't. Because first of all, if we eating chips in the first place, that means we don't give a fuck about our health. We're probably fat and we just getting fat together, have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and everything the fuck else. This is no shade to anybody watching or listening or anybody in my personal life, because I know a few people in my personal life who have been with their significant others for way too fucking long without. But hey, for me personally, I date with intention. For me to even get into the point where I'm in a relationship with you, I've already determined that we are compatible, we are a match, and I can see myself with you long term. A lot of people don't get into a relationship with that type of mindset. Some people get in a relationship for financial reasons because they want somebody to split the rent with, or they want some type of benefit from the relationship. They just want to have sex with somebody consistently or things like that. For me, I vet so hard. I will be in a talking stage for months before I even move on to the exclusively dating stage, before we even get to a relationship. So from my perspective, before I even get into a relationship with someone, we already have several months of talking and dating under the belt. So by the time I'm in a relationship with you, if after 2 or 3 years, we're not in the discussion of, getting married, then I would have to take a step back and reevaluate the relationship and what our end goal is. Because like I said, I don't want to be one of those people who I know people who are in like 5-year relationships and they have nothing to show for it. Let's say you've been in a relationship for 5 years and they in a car accident, bitch. They fly out the fucking windshield. They have to be scraped up off the pavement. And they are on life support. God forbid that happened to anybody. But that's happened to people before. If you're a spouse, you can make decisions. Will they stay on life support? Will they not? Should you go through with this procedure? Do you not want to do the procedure? So on and so forth. And God forbid they pass away. If you're a spouse, you have access to every account. You have access to everything because you're the spouse. You don't have to deal with their family. You don't have to deal with,
Probably still have to deal with their family.
Well, yeah, but if the person doesn't have a spouse, then they go to the next of kin. As a spouse, you get the say so on a lot of things. If you're just a boyfriend or a girlfriend, it doesn't matter how long y'all done been together. That motherfucker died, or that motherfucker is incapacitated in a coma. You can't make no fucking decision. They calling that nigga mama. They calling his mama. They calling the next of kin, whoever it is, to make these decisions because you have nothing to show for y'all's relationship.
Well, okay, let me just say this. I feel like everybody's relationship is different. So some people, their end goal isn't to be married. Like, some people do look at it as like a piece of paper. Do I see it as that way? No. Like, maybe we doing something here. So if we ain't getting married, then why are we doing this? It's me personally.
That's me personally as well.
So at a certain point, it's just like, okay, like, what are we doing? But I mean, everybody's relationship is different, and there's different legal ways to go about everything. But I think it takes time to because you could be totally. For me, I could still be in honeymoon phase like a year or two down the line, and then I move in with you. I'll be like, oh, this ain't it. I thought it was it. I thought I could do this, but we done tried every compromise and everything. We done talked through everything in the book, and it's still not working. I gotta go, and you gotta go.
That's true, because I mean, in my last relationship, which is my only official relationship, you know, we went into it with the expectations that, you know, marriage was definitely going to be on the table. And, you know, I made the decision to walk away from it. But I think that was a lesson for me to vet out the people who I decided to be in a relationship with even more so the next time around. So that by the time that I am a year in or 2 years in, it's not a doubt in my mind, you know, like in moving in with them when the time is to move in with them and stuff like that. I feel like that's important. It's very important, because I feel like if after a year and some change or 2 years and both our leases have been up and we haven't even had the conversation about moving in together, then it's kind of like I'm giving the side eye.
And like, if we can't live together, then how we gonna spend the rest of our lives?
Yeah,
you know,
now me personally, I love my personal space. I love it. Goodness gracious, because I'm gonna tell you, the peace of being single is unmatched. So personal space is big for me. But my thing is, if I've been with you for over a year and, you know, we're not talking about moving in together or anything like that. First of all, it's cheaper. We are in a recession.
It's depending on what you're doing.
You need to be in an inflationship. Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time.
Okay, because let me tell you something. Like, it's cheaper. Because my thing is, if we let's say we have a strong year under our belt of us being official. We were talking for 7 months. We done got in a relationship, and we've been a year officially as, you know, a couple. And if at that point, you know, let's say our leases are up at the same time and we done been together a year, we need that at that point we need to be talking about, hey, like, we should find, you know, a spot together. Like, let's go apartment hunting or condo hunting or house hunting, townhouse, or whatever our budget, you know, can afford at the time. Mm-hmm. We should do that together, and that should be an activity for us to merge our worlds.
It gotta be 2 bedrooms.
It gotta be 2 bedrooms. I'm sorry. Now, I know a lot of people who are in relationships that only have 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartments. And I can't do it.
I feel like, yeah.
I feel like no. I feel like if we're gonna be in a relationship, it is gonna be 2 of us under 1 roof. If it's an apartment, or you know what, if it's anything, it needs to have at least 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Now, I will settle for one of the bathrooms to be a half bathroom.
Talk about it.
I'll settle for that. But preferably 2 full bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms is the way to go. Because my thing is, if I'm not fucking with you, you done did some shit, I can go in the other room.
The other, and that's the key part. The other room.
The other room. Ain't no fucking couch.
I'm not couching.
I ain't going on, because if anybody going on the couch, it's gonna be your motherfucking ass.
Good night.
I'm not going. You better hope you find a blanket.
I wish somebody would tell me to go on the couch. I'd be like,
I ain't going on no fucking couch. Because let me tell you something. I'm gonna go to your competition house before I sleep on the couch. One of them motherfuckers in my DMs gonna get a call, and I'm gonna spend the night with them before I sleep on a motherfucking couch in my own shit that I paid to stay at. I wish
they be like, what's that? I be like, my spend the night bed.
My spend the night bed. I know that's right. I know that's right. Shit. So that's just my thing. So that's the deal breaker for me. Like, if we cannot, cohabitate after a certain amount of time in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom type of situation, it's like, what are we doing? I feel like there has to be progression in a relationship. If after a certain time, you can decide that amongst yourself, however you see fit. But if after a certain time you're not talking about marriage, because marriage is important for a lot of things, that means that you have 2 incomes. Y'all are filed as a union under the law. For me, I'm an entrepreneur and I would like my partner to be that as well. So for businesses that I want to create, LLCs, everything like that, that me and my partner would go hand in hand, and marriage is important. Marriage is important in that aspect. Now, if you're not that type of way, I can understand how you could see things differently. But for me personally, marriage is important for a lot more reasons than it just being a piece of paper that says we're married. So if after a certain amount of time we're not discussing that, then that's a problem for me. So to answer that question, it just depends on you, what your goals are for the relationship, what your life goals are as an individual, and how your partner feels about that as well. And you can go about deciding when y'all should tie the knot, when y'all should be engaged, things of that nature, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I guess if I had to put a time frame on it, maybe like 4 to 5 years.
Damn. That's a long fucking time.
Because that's like 1 to 2 years of us dating and living together, and then or moving in together. Then like 1 to 2 years of us like.
See, my thing is, after 3 years, we need to be in serious
or 3 to 4 years. Listen.
Communication about a proposal or a engagement or something like that. If we've been together for 3 years and we haven't even mentioned the thought of being married, there's a problem.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, we ain't dating. Shit.
I'm just talking to you. I'm just saying there's a problem if we haven't, like, that should be a discussion. That should be a discussion throughout the relationship. I feel like it's healthy to have conversations about intentions, reassurance, and things like that throughout the relationship. That is the way to go to answer your question. So thank you for your question. That is about all we have time for today. I do want to thank you all so much for tuning into episode 1 of Gotz to Be Real with AD, featuring my co-host, special guest, Brandon. Keep rocking with us. Tune in. I don't want to say next week because I don't know when y'all gonna get another episode. But stay tuned because we will be back. I'll probably have another co-host. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave comments, leave feedback. We want to know your thoughts on everything that we've spoken about today. And y'all be easy.
Bye.